I'm going to give you this one warning. You need to prepare now because contraction comes before the burst. This economy is getting ready to go down, and you need to make preparations for that. You need to cut out the frivolous spending, all of the shit that you're wasting your money on that you know you really do not need. I would advise you to chill out on that shit right now because more than likely, well, it's inevitable. I just can't tell you exactly when it's going to happen, but very, very, very dire times are coming. It is going to be very bad. So, wherever you need to cut back, you know what you need to cut back on. If you're thinking about getting ready to go get a new car, you probably should work with whatever you already have. You probably have a lot of things that you have right now that you need to unload. You need to figure out right now how you can cut your bills down to bare minimum. You need to cut down to bare minimum. See, there's a reason that Warren Buffett has been sitting on cash. There's a reason that a lot of these money management companies now are starting to stockpile cash. It's because there's some rock bottom prices that are coming here in a not too distant future. And more than likely, you are not an investor. So something like that's not going to really be on your radar. But what is on your radar is your day to day, the lifestyle you live. I would advise you to cut back. It's some wicked times coming. Nobody knows how long it's going to last, but jobs might be in jeopardy, and definitely higher prices are coming due to inflation, less job security, and you're just going to see a lot of money is not going to circulate around the economy like it was before. So make preparations now. You've been warned. I'm telling you, cut out the bullshit, streamline your expenses, and forget all your desires for all that luxurious shit for a while. You can cut all that out. Don't be a fool. You've been warned. You got a little time to make preparations. I'd advise you take heed to what I'm saying.
See, the unfortunate part about all of this is that nobody's going to learn. Nobody's going to do what they need to do to be able to survive. Nobody is going to cut back on money. Nobody's going to cut back on spending unless they're absolutely forced to do so. And quite honestly, a lot of people have no choice but to even just spend on their credit card. A lot of people are utilizing credit just to get by. A lot of people are paying bills on credit cards. A lot of people are paying for groceries on credit cards. Klarna just released something with Apple. Now you can get a phone, and you know Apple costs an arm and a leg, right? Apple phones usually anywhere between new phones are usually anywhere between 6, 7, 800 plus. So now Klarna has partnered up with Apple, so now you can get you a phone on Klarna for about $15-$16, per month. Listen, man, America is completely over leveraged, right? Eventually the floodgates was going to come. Eventually the floodgates was going to come. Let me tell y'all something, man. A lot of people don't realize and understand this, but America has been operating on a fraudulent, economy for the longest, right? A lot of what you see in the American economy is literally over leveraged by debt, over leveraged by credit, and also, a bunch of people who are just pumping into the system unwarranted, right? A lot of what you see is not even a real economy. A lot of what you see is simply just smoke and mirrors. And you wonder why the economy is headed for such disaster. You wonder why there's no jobs now. See, before, a lot of people were just getting hired everywhere. You get a job, you get a job, you get a job, right? Everybody's hiring, everybody has a job, but it's not for the reasons you think. See, there's literally two economies, in America. There's the real one and there's the fake one, right? The real one is operating at, minimum altitude. The one that we usually see, that's on the front page news, when you walk outside, blase, blase, blah, the one they like to hype up so much, right? That's the fake economy. And you wonder why so many people are without jobs. You wonder why, many people are not hiring, because once upon a time.
This video is sponsored by American Luxury Concierge. If you're planning a trip to the Dominican Republic, don't leave your experience up to chance. At American Luxury Concierge, we help American travelers experience the country with confidence. From airport pickups and private drivers to customized itineraries and concierge services built around you. Visit AmericanLuxuryConcierge.com to book your trip, and we'll see you here in Santo Domingo.
They were hiring for the fake economy. A lot of jobs that people have are not even real jobs. They're just placebos, right? They're really not even needed. They just give them out just so it can look good on the balance sheets, just so it can look good to the stockholders. You will be surprised how much of our economy is actually fake. Y'all will be surprised about how much you aren't needed in the economy. See, I believe the fake economy literally did people a good service. It literally did right by the majority of people, because now we're headed into the real economy, right? Now we're heading to the real economy where most people probably won't have jobs. That's the real economy, where most people aren't needed, right? This is why I implore a lot of people to travel, because America is severely over leveraged, right? Operating on so much debt, operating on so much credit, right? It's just all a placebo effect. If you travel, you'll see how many real economies work, right? There is no social safety nets. There is no major, economies. There is none of that, right? Most people are probably working, outside of the traditional 9 to 5. They're doing something, working on small hustles, multiple hustles, right? Doing their own thing, right? Most people are not hired by the government or even private companies. When you travel, you're going to see just that. But America has been privileged enough to be able to have, such a robust and fake, private, in the private sector and in the government sector, right? See, once you realize that all it was ever about was, hyper capitalism, private equity, and how much they can, how much money they can make for boomers, how much we can pump up these stock portfolios, even if it means the cost of the entire economy. This is what we're seeing now. And most people are not ready. Of course not. Of course, most people are not ready. Most people are going to see this. Most people are going to see that. Most people are going to see the headlines. They know what's going on, and they're still going to carry on about their raggedy ass day. That's what most people are going to do, because America is not a society of preparedness. It's not. We are a society of last minuteness, right? We're not proactive. We're reactive, right? And when you think about it, that goes for everything that we try to attack, right? We're never trying to get down to the real solution. Never, ever. We're always reacting. When it came to the pandemic, reactive. When it comes to, the cost of living, reactive. When it comes to policing, reactive. When it comes to the court system, prison industrial complex, reactive. When it comes to the military industrial complex, reactive. It's never anything, proactive, actually solving the issue. If anything, they're just putting more bullet holes in an already existing corpse. And that's what they're doing. See, I've been saying this, and I've been telling you guys what is to come for the past 2-3 years now, right? I am where I am, not for my health, but I'm here for a reason, right? I went on and picked my stuff up. I went on and left that 9 to 5 job in America, and now I'm just plain Jane betting on myself. At the end of the day, the powers that be, the powers that play, right? They want to dismantle America. It's clear as day. They want to go ahead and dismantle America. And if you really think about it, a lot of what is going on now is being controlled. It's, well, first and foremost, we are already sold out, right? We sold out to the highest bidder. America belongs to the corporations, corporate interests. America belongs to you know who's from Whoville, right? Clearly, because they clearly have something, you know, on America. I mean, we know they have something on America, aka the Epstein files. Everybody and your mama in there. I don't know, maybe I'm in there too, right? But everybody is in there. Everybody is in there. So that's why everybody is hush hush. That's why everybody is, you know, going along with this war. That's why everybody is going along with it. They're literally dismantling this place, right? Brick by brick, before the real explosion. Have you ever been close to or actually seen the video of a demolition, right? But before a demolition, they got to make sure it's all safe. They got to make sure that the parameters are good. They got to make sure that nobody's going to get hit upside the head with a brick, right? They got to empty the whole place, make sure everybody is out of there. That's exactly what they're doing. They're emptying the entire place. Make sure nobody's in there. People going to get hit in the head regardless. There's going to be a lot of Humpty Dumptys that fell off the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. There's going to be a lot of those, right? Mostly the middle class, mostly, you know, the poor. Those are going to be the ones who get hit upside the head, not knowing what's going on. But if you really follow, when you really follow what's going on, if you follow trends, America has seen a net negative, you know, migration, right? A net negative, meaning that people are not coming in, clearly, because, you know, ICE is on a whole, you know, going on their whole little thing, but people are also leaving. This is the most Americans have ever left since the Great Depression. So, but people are still sitting around like everything is just everything's just cool and dandy. Yeah, the economy is good. Yeah, wink wink. The economy is good. Everything is just smooth sailing. Nothing's happening. Nothing is going on, right? America's just, you know, being America, I guess. Nah, man, it's way deeper than that. And I believe that America's gonna lose its greatest minds. It's already happening. People who can, the thinkers, right, the innovators, they're going to eventually, I mean, they're going to be emptied out of America. A lot of them are just going to leave. A lot of them are going to go to, you know, friendlier places, more, you know, just peaceful places. I mean, that's what we're already seeing now. You have a lot of people with money, with means, who are already dipping out. Y'all probably going to be like, well, I see so-and-so, my next door neighbor and his Benz. And listen, man, a lot of those people that you see with quote unquote money, a lot of them are leasing or borrowing that car, or, you know, over leverage themselves. Right. There's been plenty of stats that have already come out. People who are making upwards to $250,000 or one paycheck away from disaster. Yes, up to $250,000. I don't know how you can do that, but clearly you can do it in America. Right. So listen, a lot of those people, they can't catch a plane. Right. They can't just up and leave. They can't. They're too tied into their materials. Too tied into the things that they have bought. But a lot of the greatest minds are headed out of America, right? A lot of people with means, who actually have the means to do it, a lot of people who are betting on themselves, they're absolutely headed outside the door. They're going. While you still sitting here twiddling your thumbs, I've been telling you for the past 2 years, everybody was commenting, oh man, you just negative Nancy, or you just doom and gloom. Well, doom and gloom this then, ninja. Doom and gloom this. Now what? Everybody keep talking about, well, all you report on is doom and gloom. Well, if the sky is falling, ninja, if the sky is falling, I can't do nothing but tell you the dang on sky is falling. Even if you outside playing with your kids at the park, the sky is still falling. You go and get some ice cream, the sky is still falling. So guess what? I'm telling you that the sky is still falling. Either you're going to do something about it or you're not, ninja. But a lot of y'all just been sitting around twiddling your fingers. I told you, you Wally World worker, Jiffy Lube, workers, Family Dollar, paper pushers, corporate slaves. I've been telling y'all this. And then now the pimple is coming to a head, and everybody like, what's going on? Some of y'all still deluded. Y'all think just because Chipotle is open, right? Y'all think that just because Dunkin' Donuts is open, your favorite Mickey D's is open, that everything is A-OK. Well, it looks normal. Yeah, that's literally, if you ever been in the midst of a tornado or a hurricane or actual storm, right? Y'all know the phrase there, the calm before the storm. This is this is what this is. The calm before the storm. Before a tornado comes in, it seems like it's a total annihilation of sound and time itself. Right? It just seems like a brief quietness before all hell breaks loose. Even with a hurricane, right? The eye of the storm, or before a hurricane even comes in, right? There's a brief calmness, and then the wind steadily picks up. The calm before the storm. This is what this is. So I hope y'all prepared. I hope y'all, getting ready. I've been telling y'all, listen, you want to go ahead and start looking into residencies. You want to go ahead and start looking into visas. You want to go ahead and start looking into developing life outside the U.S. because I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I'm sorry to be Mr. Doom and Gloom, but it is what it is. And that's an after pill. Listen, the after pill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is the framework. And PFP life is how you should live. Welcome to the afterpill.co, your one-stop shop hub for everything that I offer. Whether you're here to book a one-on-one coaching call, join the Patreon community, explore Horizon Atlas, your relocation app, or access my latest content and resources, you'll find it all right here. Choose your path, take action, and start building the life you want.